The function is a powerful node. It allows you to write JavaScript functions. So we're going to go ahead and set this up here. By default, the function is set up to just pass the message through it. So it's returning the message. Let's go ahead and view the entire message object. Now when we click, you'll see the message object goes right through. Let's go ahead and change up what we send. Let's go ahead and do a string. We're going to do red. Let's go ahead and do a couple of these. So we have different messages coming into our function. The first thing we want to do is get to the message.payload. So we're going to do, let's just make a variable called m, and it's going to be msg.payload. And then if we want the topic, we could also make a variable, we'll call it t equals message.topic. Okay, now what else should we do here? To move things along, I'm going to go ahead and just paste in an if statement. So you can see that we're going to say if the message.payload is read, we're going to return the actual topic that was passed to it, and we change the payload. Otherwise, if it is black, we're going to go ahead and modify both the topic and the payload. And we can give this thing a name. Let's call it custom function. Deploy. So if we click blue, nothing happens because we weren't going to pass anything unless it was red or black. If it's red, you can see that we went ahead and passed the topic through as it was, didn't modify it whatsoever, but we did change the payload. And then if it was black, we modified both the topic and the payload. Let's do something different here. I'm going to add another function. Now remember that the timestamp is a Unix timestamp. So when we click, we see this not a readable timestamp. So in our function, we can simply use JavaScript to go ahead and build a better timestamp. So this is standard JavaScript stuff. We are going to go ahead and make a new date, and then we're getting the month, date, year, so forth. We're joining them all together, and then we're going to return the message. And right here we're setting the message.payload to this formatted date timestamp. Let's go ahead and deploy. And we have a nice date timestamp. And then one more thing. Often in functions, you're going to not only get to the message.payload, but what if you need to get to different values in an array? So let's go ahead and edit one of these. And instead of just doing a single value, we're going to do a JSON string. And inside of here, let's do blue. And then the value will be something. And so if we look at the entire message object, let's go ahead and debug this here. And we see that inside of here we have an object, and we have both blue and orange. If you wanted to get to one of those, you could simply come in here, so let's go ahead and just get message.payload.blue, and we're going to return topic. We're going to call it blue, and the payload will be M. Now when we click, we can see that the topic was blue, the payload was 34. If we go ahead and switch this back to the message.payload so it looks nicer. Okay. When we click our inject node, we see that the message object has blue and orange. We're already just getting a blue out of here, but what if we want to get both of them? We can do that in a single function. We're going to do two outputs. We're going to go ahead and get the blue and the orange. We go ahead and build two messages, and then we return both messages, and they can be returned to different outputs. Deploy. We see that we have orange and blue all separated out. There's lots of other things a function can do, but this kind of gets you started.